Hi everyone, welcome back for your twin flame psychic update. Those of you who are new, a very warm welcome. Those of you who are returning from my other channel, welcome over guys. Now those of you who don't know, I do have two channels. One is called YILDIZ Readings. The link will be in the box above, whatever side it's going to be. Trying to get my mirror vision happening. If you are wanting to make a booking, you can go to the link. It's the same website for both channels. I have changed it so you know it is both channels, and yes, I do readings for both channels. I'm a psychic medium as well as a twin flame. Now, the way I've created this channel, I'm basically bringing over from what I had on the other channel. I'll still do my psychic updates. I'll come to you live with my psychic updates, as well as I'm creating a toolbox each month that we can refer back to, connected to any triggers we're going to have within our chakras, anything energetically that I see coming through that both of you individually are working on within your twin flame. As well as it's, even if you choose to be with a high vibration soulmate, providing you've done the work spiritually on yourself, you're able to then choose that path. That's what they call, how do I put it? The aspect where you have freedom of choice. We do have freedom of choice, but the blocks, as per se, while they're present within us, it can sabotage any connection we have, and that's even without being a twin. So it's very healthy to be able to know, especially when you're getting the psychic downloads, you know, what's going on with your twin. Can key points, especially connected to the toolkits I'm giving you, to know what's coming through in a synchronicity collectively and why at particular times of the month you're going to feel the way you're feeling. Now, Cancer off the bat, moving into the month, you're coming in blazing. You literally are moving through going, right, it's time to end a karmic cycle. This is what's crowning your thoughts. You're either in it, in the thick of it. And again, the energies can swap. So, you know, if you're a feminine and this is where your twins are, it can be that you're tuning into that. It can also be you being part of a cycle, you've ended that and you're moving forward fiercely and leaving that behind. But it is connected to divine timing. And it's very interesting being that this has come through in your reading, because connected to Ketu and Rahu, which is in Vedic astrology. I have been researching aspects of Vedic astrology, although I do refer to the traditional aspects of astrology. It's actually in Cancer, interestingly enough. Let me see the dates. Bear with me. January the 3rd, it's in Pad 4th house, which is in Cancer. Now, this is all connected to the two cards that have come for you. Tying up loose ends of a karmic nature, interestingly enough. That is about where it was imbalanced for you, and you are energetically guided to create balance within your own life and balance the situation. You're realizing what's working, what's not working, right? Within a third party situation. So whatever was taking your attention away from your true core self, sort of like an aspect of a diversion. It no longer is working for you because you're seeing the truth, okay? So you're seeing the truth of a situation, be it on your side, feminine or masculine, energetically, it's no longer a thought process, it's a reality paradigm. And really coming back to the root core, there might be some family related dynamics. You know, Cancer's directly connected to the moon energy, which in spiritual terms, moon frequency is feminine, getting in touch with your feelings, which is why Cancerians, regardless of being a male or a female, you're very nurturing when it comes to your nearest and dearest. Although you receiving that has been at times problematic, be it that it was your belief system within yourself, or physically that the connections that were directly coming towards you were of the polar opposite of what you directly wanted, but perhaps weren't vibrationally ready for. You're realizing now that you actually have the power to do this, and it might be really wanting to manifest a lot of your hopes and dreams, that there was a delay until this time. And again, I feel that spiritually you have made this choice around your birthday month and had seen the reality of the truth and the falseness, but perhaps didn't act due to some 3D related dynamic. It may have also been due to vehicles, due to transport, due to an inability of doing something, and you were trying to be fair to other individuals around you, perhaps due to a lack of movement and inability to move forward. There might have been a lot of conflict around you energetically as well, and you may have felt like just putting the truce kind of flag up and saying, I'm just going to go where the wind takes me, because a lot of what was going on was really a lack of finance, a lack of emotional fulfillment, with the external things directly connected to you going on, very separate to your twin flame connection. Ending this cycle is you coming back into the truth of who you are. It's coming to a place where also, if you're not working, you're going to create what is going to work in your life, be that in an employment level or at a spiritual level of your core truth. The interesting thing is, moving into 2019, a lot of what is highlighted is us being directly truthful to ourselves. A lot of the planets being in retrograde last year would have taken us into this deep despair kind of frequency, which was for us to naturally tap into who we were. 2019 can be quite an egoic state, so it is very important for us to keep as grounded as possible and have a baseline of a routine. If that means work, that will anchor you into a point that can actually create some sense of balance for you. I do feel you're trying to create a balance for your direct environment, so you're feeling the pause button in your life was there, and at a financial level you're feeling that's the key, but also you're investing only in what is in the high vibration for you and the best good. Your twin is really having a lot of luck around them at the moment. Now it can be vice versa, okay? Energies can swap, but it might be they see the potential in this situation. They've had to pick the pieces up within their life, and they know that maybe the way in which they reacted within the connection could have been differently, but it was all divinely guided. And when we say divinely guided, it's like, it is what it is. The way things happened were the way they happened. And that's within their whole life, I feel. I don't feel it's in general connected to you. I feel it's in general what's going on right now. They know that in order to create something, they need to get out of their way. And they also know that either you or they were in their minds about things and it was a mental prison. But in order for something to bode well, that needs to stop. That having the strength may have meant a delay to create the consistency separately in each other's lives prior to connection. Now, okay. Now, the wrong way of doing things might have been more not what you were thinking. It may have been they've had an understanding of what's happened. This may be that for them, they thought you were where you were, but you weren't. Now, it's hard to explain. How do I get this? If this is you, feminine, on this side as counterpart energy, I'm feeling you're spiritually looking at your twin and you're understanding the blocks had nothing to do with the third party situation. It was a spiritual thing going on inside twins. Also, if counterpart is masculine, it may be that they feel they're hoping energetically you don't have a new person, but they don't know if that's true or not. You're also focused quite heavily on creating a balance in your life, but also, and this is for counterparts energy, you know, keeping your cards close to your chest, doing a lot of internal work, coming to a place where you're really rounded, you know, but really focusing on your finances, which is interesting because Cancer, you're doing the same. But again, the finances doesn't have to be directly 3D, you know, all your twin has time for is working. I feel more your twin is working due to circumstances of having to pick up pieces because of people around them that weren't consistent. Very separate to you, but ongoingly so. Now, the eclipse has changed something in their situation, and that was probably in the first week something's going to change. Moving into the next eclipse, I'm seeing something drastically is going to change. It might be more balanced in their life, and there is going to be a change of plans. I feel they're open to changing with the wind, but they're dealing with this at a 3D level because it's part of their spiritual journey, but they're just going with the flow. Between you, there is hope, but you are both feeling as though this has dragged on energetically. And it's not making either one of you happy. So this waiting, this pausing for this kind of energy to move forward. You're also both very afraid that the love you have together, that it's, how do you put it? It's fears of commitment, but it's more due to blocks, not directly connected to each other as per se. They feel one needs to be the king, okay? I'm also hearing one side is willing to put their swords down, but it feels as though one party was only fighting for the connection due to the fact that one of you was trying to get out of emotional turmoil, external discord, and ending a cycle. And it could be you, Cancer, because the death cards come up between you, but you do have a lot of karmic endings on your side. It can be in both ways, because really we do mirror each other energetically. So it's tying up of loose ends in our own life, but one side feels to be more focused on one area, but not due to the fact they want to, due to the fact they're going with the flow, but they're trying to create that abundance to prepare themselves. But I feel you're doing the same thing. The indecisiveness really has caused conflict, and it's interesting because January does have the Ram energy coming through, which is an Aries connotation. And depending on what, you know, your shadow aspect is, your twin's kind of shadow aspect might be Aries as well, but the planets are connected to Aries at the moment, which is really, you know, wanting to move forward. So whatever's going on isn't going to last. It's going to move very quickly, but it can be your fair-based frequencies of the direct connection. Not wanting to show. Yeah, you're trying to both balance yourselves to prepare for union, but until these situations are tied up, I feel, Cancer, you're going to be in a bit of shock, but I feel you were aware of what was coming. So you're dealing with that first prior to moving forward, but you may be intuitively a bit worried about what your counterpart's doing and if they're open to it. But I do feel they're open to it. They're just keeping themselves busy energetically at the moment. So it looks like they're not open, but it's more they're just focusing on their finances because of situations that transpired. Now, directly between you, you're in the lower frequency, which is fair-based frequency, and really wanting this to move along. It may be you haven't communicated a long time. But both of you are dealing with a connection that has been going a very long time. But the turmoil also has been going on a long time. And it feels spiritually, not one of you wants to live in that energy, so it has to end. Coming out of the aspect of despair. With the indecisions, it hasn't been something either one of you has been happy about. It's more been circumstantial. And when it does come to the movement forward, although, you know, I feel the disconnect is not going to last, you know, in a fact of what is reunion. It's like, I feel the communication's coming in first. It feels like truce energy, but I feel one of you will need to make the direct communication in order for that to spiritually move forward. But I feel it's on the mind, but it's due to 3D circumstances right now. It might be you're trying to get your vibration up before this, even though you may have left a situation. Okay, yeah, sweetheart in reverse. One of you or both of you may have left a connection. And if this hasn't happened, I'm telling you, by the eclipses, it's gonna. This very much is the Cancerian energy coming through. You guys going through a mass transformation this year. And you're trying to get the balance back, both at a financial level, and it can be really coming to a point where you had to move last year. And again, coming to a place where you're trying to correct situations in your life to find balance. But I do feel many of you have moved away from a karmic energy. Love and light, and I'll see you mid-month. Come and join us for the workshops and any blocks you've got. Have a look at the toolkit. There will be a separate video connected to any chakras, anything intuitively I feel for each zodiac sign that can support you through the month. And join us every 2 weeks for the workshops so that you can ask any questions. Bye.